Good morning. I am Dr. N.U. Lakshmi, Assistant Professor of English, Sri Ayappa College for Women. Let's take a few minutes to discuss one of the most famous plays of George Bernard Shaw, Candida. Candida is prescribed as part of the syllabus of British drama for UG students of MS University. First, I'd like to give a very short introduction to George Bernard Shaw. George Bernard Shaw was born on 26 July 1856 and died on 2 November 1950. He was an Irish playwright, critic, and a political activist. He wrote more than 60 plays. In 1925, he was awarded Nobel Prize in Literature. George Bernard Shaw was influenced by Henrik Ibsen, and he introduced a new realism to English language drama. Major works included Major Barbara, The Doctor's Dilemma, and Caesar and Cleopatra. Coming to Candida, Candida was written in 1895. Candida comes second in the collection Plays Pleasant. It is subtitled A Mystery. It is categorized as a comedy, an anti-romantic play, and a drama of ideas. It's a story of eternal triangle. The play is a serious comedy. It is a domestic play having common aspects of day-to-day life. It doesn't possess any hero or heroine story or an adventure or magic story. The play has been divided into 3 acts. It starts in the morning and ends on the night of the same day. Act 1 of the play opens in morning. It is October. James Morrell is going through the letters that he has just received. Prosy is sitting beside him and is typing letters. James Morrell has been invited by Huxton Freedom Group to address them on Sunday. He cannot accept the offer because on Sundays he has to deliver speech at churches, and therefore he asks Prosy to find another day on which he is not engaged. As Prosy tells him that on 28th he has been invited by a renowned company for dinner, he asks them to cancel the dinner and decides to go to Huxton Freedom Group to deliver the speech. Soon, Lexi enters. Morrell tells him that he is going to pick his wife from the railway station, who is coming back for 2 days. His wife Candida comes to take warm clothes for their children who are affected by some kind of infection. Morrell suggests Lexi to get married to a girl like Candida. Lexi also tells Morrell that Burgess, his father-in-law, has come to have a private conversation with him. Morrell is surprised as Burgess has not come to meet him or his wife for the last few years. As Morrell goes out, Prosy tells Lexi that she doesn't like the overpraising of Candida by Morrell. He used to say Candida here, Candida there, and Candida everywhere. But Lexi accuses her of jealousy. As Lexi is about to leave, Burgess enters. Initially, he says to Morrell that he has forgiven him, but seeing the anger of Morrell, he asks him to forgive him. He has now come to meet Morrell because he came to know that he was about to get a promotion, and he considers it as a boon for himself and his business. While they were talking, Candida enters. Morrell regrets forgetting to pick her from the station, and she says that she was all right because Eugene, a young boy of 18, he's also a young poet, he has come to pick her. He brings Eugene with him and introduces him to Burgess. Upon learning that he belongs to a royal family, Burgess welcomes him and offers him dinner, and he goes away as he wants to catch the train. Candida goes inside the house to see how things were going on in her absence. Eugene tells Morrell that he loves his wife and doesn't like the way Morrell behaves with his wife. He also says that he will free Candida from this slavery. Morrell drags him in anger and asks him to leave the house. Very soon Candida enters and she asks about the matter, but she couldn't get anything out of it, and she only invites Eugene to stay with them until lunch. Here ends Act 1. Act 2 is the afternoon of the same day. Eugene is sitting alone in the room. Finding the printer idle, he meddles with it, and Proxy scolds him for playing with the printer. Eugene tells her, just to irritate her, that she is in love with Morel and insists upon till she confesses it. Just then Burgess enters, and there is a verbal fight between Proxy and Burgess, and she even calls him old silly fathead. Burgess grows angry and he says that he'll make a complaint to Morel. Meanwhile, Morel gives some illustrated papers to Burgess to read, and Candida is busy filling paraffin in lamps. Saying this, Eugene Marchbanks, the poet, blames Morel for making her do such odd jobs. When Proxy asks Candida to slice onions, Morel experiences poetic horror. He even goes with Candida to help her in her work. Burgess goes out to smoke, and at this time Morel scolds Proxy just to tease her that he shouldn't have been called a silly fathead. Proxy bursts into tears and rushes out. Candida comes to Morel and tells him frankly that Eugene is in love with her. She also tells him that Proxy is in love with him, calling it Proxy's complaint. She even says that many people come to his lecture not to listen to him, but they have something called Proxy's complaint. And therefore she warns him not to spend so much time in delivering lectures. Morel is shattered with such a response from Candida. At this time, Lexi enters. He asks Morel to get ready to go to church. He denies. Candida regrets saying so to Morel. She insists that she will also go with him to church, but Morel asks her and Eugene to remain at home. She protects, but she cannot succeed. The second act ends. Very soon Morel enters and he says that he has delivered a very good lecture. Soon Lexi, Proxy and Burgess come. Lexi and Proxy thanks Burgess for the great supper he has offered. All leave the place, and now Candida goes to send Maria to bed. At this time there is again a meeting between Morel and the poet Marchbanks. Morel now asks Candida to choose one of them, either Morel or the young poet. She decides to stay with her husband for the rest of her life, for she knows that her husband cannot live without her. And now Eugene goes out saying that he has some secret in his heart, so he is satisfied although Candida has rejected him. The play ends. So the play ends with Marchbanks' secret disclosed, justifying the subtitle of the play. Candida's readers are eager to know the mystery of the poet's mind. The minor theme is the freedom of women in Victorian society to choose her own way of life.